Every living thing on Earth has a built-in biological drive to keep its species alive. Just as animals produce offspring, plants must continually create new plants of their own kind to survive. Plants rely on two distinct reproductive pathways. They reproduce using seeds or through vegetative propagation, growing directly from a severed piece of an existing plant. Both methods are engineered to produce the exact same outcome, a fully mature, identical plant. This dual system provides plants with two reliable ways to restart a life cycle, ensuring that new growth continues regardless of which method the plant uses to begin. This diagram reveals the internal anatomy of a seed. On the outside is the seed coat, a tough protective layer. Inside, the bulk of the space is taken up by the cotyledon, which stores nutrients. Tucked away in the center is the embryo, the baby plant waiting to emerge. The germination process begins when the seed absorbs water from the surrounding soil. This moisture softens the hard seed coat, which signals the dormant embryo inside to wake up and begin actively dividing its cells. Once active, the embryo breaks through the softened shell in two specific directions. A small root, called the radicle, pushes downward into the soil. Then, a tiny shoot, called the plumule, emerges and reaches upward toward the surface. During this intense growth phase, the seedling cannot yet make its own food. Instead, it feeds directly on the stored nutrients inside the cotyledon. As the root and shoot expand, the cotyledon physically shrinks as its nutrient reserves are consumed. Germination is a strict biological race against the clock. The seedling must breach the soil surface and develop green leaves to start photosynthesis before its internal food supply runs completely dry. Consider a fully grown tree dropping hundreds of seeds. What would happen to the offspring if every single one of those seeds fell directly underneath the parent plant? The seedlings would fail. Packed tightly together under the canopy of the adult tree, they would starve each other, competing aggressively for a very limited supply of sunlight, water, and physical space in the soil. To prevent this crowding, plants rely on seed dispersal to scatter their offspring far away from the parent plant. They accomplish this naturally through four main mechanisms. Light seeds with hair-like structures are carried by the wind. Spongy or fibrous seeds float across water. Fruits are eaten by animals, who carry the seeds for miles before dropping them. And some plants rely on an explosive mechanism, literally bursting their pods open to launch seeds in all directions with their own force. Dispersal provides a critical survival advantage. It eliminates direct resource competition and allows parent plants to systematically colonize new territories across the landscape. But the seed process relies heavily on specific environmental conditions and chance. Many plants bypass the seed phase entirely and reproduce using the second pathway. This is vegetative propagation. Instead of waiting for a seed to pollinate and disperse, a plant generates a complete, identical clone of itself directly from an isolated fragment of its own root, stem, or leaf. Common foods rely heavily on this method. Underground stems, like potatoes, sprout new roots directly from their surface. Thick, fleshy roots, like carrots or sweet potatoes, develop new green shoots right out of the soil. Some plants even propagate from their leaves. The bryophyllophyllum grows tiny, fully formed plantlets along its serrated edges. Once mature, these plantlets simply drop to the ground and root themselves into the soil as independent plants. Vegetative propagation provides a reliable biological shortcut. It guarantees rapid reproduction, even when the unpredictable conditions required for seed dispersal cannot be met. Whether traveling miles on the wind as a seed or sprouting directly from a fallen leaf, the plant life cycle forms a continuous biological loop. This mind map organizes the entire reproductive framework. We start with the core function, reproduction in plants. The left pathway shows reproduction by seeds, relying on germination and dispersal. The right pathway shows vegetative propagation, bypassing seeds to multiply quickly from roots, stems, or leaves. By utilizing both traveling seeds and direct vegetative growth, plants secure their presence in the environment, turning single organisms into expanding colonies that populate our natural world.